The knock came at 7:12 p.m., a time so exact that I glanced at the clock twice. No one ever came to my house that late. Not since Daniel died. And not since I learned how to live quietly, tucked away between the echoing pine trees on Rosehill Lane. 3 sharp knocks. Quick, urgent. I set my knitting aside and stood, joints stiff from sitting too long. When I peeked through the front window, that old sinking dread returned. The same dread I used to feel before every argument in my marriage. The kind that starts in the chest, then spreads like frost. My daughter Leah stood on the porch, coat half-zipped, hair frizzed from the wind. She hadn't visited in 5 months. And never without warning. Headlights from a car I didn't recognize lit up the driveway. I opened the door slowly. "Mom," she said, brushing past me, smelling of expensive perfume and rushed decisions. "Why is it freezing in here? Don't you ever turn the heat on?"
𝒉𝒐𝒓𝒚 𝒔, I answered quietly.
She rolled her eyes and tossed her handbag onto the couch. Too familiar. Suddenly, I was 40 again, standing in the kitchen while Daniel scolded me for leaving the lights on. But Daniel had been gone 6 years. And Leah had grown into the part of him I feared most. "I need to talk to you," she said, pacing like she owned the room. "I can see that."
Thea.
"No.
Sit.
And embarrassingly, I almost did. She dropped a thick folder onto the coffee table. The kind that never holds anything good. "This is serious," she said. "Debt notices. Interest statements. Warnings." So many zeros they blurred. "How much?" I asked. She hesitated. Then, 500,000. $500,000. My breath caught. "Mom, I know what you're thinking." "You don't," I whispered. She explained the investment. The vanished CEO. The borrowed money. The dangerous people waiting to collect. "What do you want from me?" "Your savings," she whispered. "Dad's inheritance. Everything. Please, Mom. I don't have anyone else." The words hit like a fist. Not because she asked, but because she asked so casually. "Leah, I'm retired. I'm 70. That money is all I have." "Mom, you don't need it. Your lifestyle is simple." She wasn't listening. She never listened. Then she knelt down, gripping my hands, voice trembling. "They said they'd come tomorrow if I didn't pay. I'm scared." And that broke something in me. Not because it felt sincere, but because it felt familiar. Fear. Promises, demands. Always demands. "I can help," I said. "Just not everything." Instantly, her face hardened. "So you won't help me?" "I'm trying to protect myself." "From your own daughter?" "I'm all you have left." The resemblance to her father made me flinch. "You're asking me to ruin myself," I whispered. "I'm asking you to save me." "By destroying my future?" She laughed sharply. "Future? Mom, you're 70. How much future do you think you have?" Cruel cold. And still, I broke. Like always. "All right," I whispered. "I'll transfer what I can." Relief washed over her. "I knew you'd do the right thing." She kissed my cheek and left. When her car disappeared, the silence that filled the house wasn't peaceful. Tea was empty. I made tea with trembling hands and sat at the table, staring at the steam. Then, I picked up the phone. A number I hadn't dialed in a decade. It rang once. "Nora? It's Elaine." A pause. A soft inhale. "Elaine, I need help. And I need it tonight." "I'll be there in 20 minutes. Elaine arrived in 19 minutes. I knew because I counted every second. Counting has always been my way of staying calm, of giving shape to panic. The habit that carried me through the worst years of my marriage, and the lonely ones after. When her headlights swept across my driveway, I nearly cried. Elaine stepped out of her car with the same steady, unhurried movements she'd always had, shoulders back, chin up. A woman who survived her own storms long before she ever met me. She didn't knock. She let herself in, calling my name softly as she walked into the kitchen. When she saw me, she froze. "Nora," she whispered. "Oh, sweetheart." She sat across from me without asking. She never asked permission for things that mattered. That was partly why we stopped talking 10 years ago. She refused to tolerate what I tolerated. She refused to watch. But now she was here, and I was grateful for every uncompromising inch of her. "Tell me what happened," she said. I wiped my eyes. "Leah." Elaine's expression didn't change, but something in her shoulders tightened. I figured. Start from the beginning. I told her everything. The debt, the folder, the threats, the expectation that I empty the one account Daniel left me. When I finished, the kitchen clock ticked between us like a metronome, marking the decline of my good sense. Elaine was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "You're not giving her the money." I already said I would. No, she corrected. You broke down and told her what she wanted to hear. I can't take it back now. You can, she said simply. And you will. I shook my head. You didn't hear her, she's scared. Elaine let out a humorless laugh. She knows exactly which button to press. She learned from the best, didn't she? I flinched. She's not her father. Not all the way, Elaine said. But people don't magically become manipulative at 29. They grow into it. It's not that simple, I murmured. It is, she said. She's using you, she always has. I felt defensive, then ashamed. She's my daughter. And you're her mother, not her retirement plan. Not her emergency fund. Not the person she gets to destroy. Her words were sharp but not unkind, bitter medicine, truth that hurt but healed. She said they might come tomorrow. I whispered. Who? I don't know. Investors, loan sharks, people she borrowed from. Elaine's jaw tightened. She's bluffing. You can't know that. I can. If she were in danger, she wouldn't stroll in wearing perfume and panic at the same time. And she definitely wouldn't leave you alone while she grabbed dinner. I looked down at my hands. She said she doesn't have anyone else. Elaine took my hand gently. That part is true. Not because people abandoned her, but because she pushed everyone away. I don't want anything to happen to her. I know, but giving her your savings won't protect her. It'll only delay the consequences. My throat tightened. Then what do I do? She'll come back tonight expecting the money. Good, Elaine said. I'll be here. Fear jolted through me. Elaine, she'll scream. She'll make it ugly. She can scream, she said calmly. I don't scare easily. She walked the house, checking locks, closing curtains, asking about important documents, preparing, protecting. Around 10:30, headlights washed across the front yard. My stomach dropped. Elaine stood. Stay behind me. Leah barged in without knocking. Mom, good, you're awake. Did you do it? Did you transfer it? She stopped when she saw Elaine. What are you doing here?
I'm visiting, Elaine answered.
Leah scoffed. Mom, we need to talk, alone. But Elaine didn't move, and for the first time, Leah looked unsettled. Mom? She pressed. I asked her to stay, I said quietly. Leah's eyebrows shot up. Why? Because this is difficult, and Elaine is support. Support? It's a bank transfer, not a surgery. Elaine said calmly. Nora has something to tell you. I swallowed. I'm not giving you the inheritance, I whispered. Silence. Sharp and immediate. What did you say? Leah asked. I can help in other ways, but... No, she cut in. You said you'd do it. I was scared that I wasn't thinking clearly. Her voice iced over. So you lied. I changed my mind. You don't get to change your mind. She does, Elaine said. Leah glared at her. Stay out of it. I won't. Leah turned back to me. I need that money. And I need to survive the rest of my life, I whispered. Her tears rose, sharp, practiced tears. Mom, please, I'm begging you. We'll handle this together, I said softly. But not like this. Her face hardened, the tears vanished. Unbelievable, she muttered. She grabbed her purse. If anything happens to me, that's on you. Leah, don't call me. She slammed the door so hard the windows rattled that I stood frozen. Elaine wrapped an arm around me. She's manipulating you. Don't let her words settle. But they already had heavy and cold. I'm scared, I whispered. I know, Elaine said softly. But you're not alone. We listened to the fading sound of Leah's car. She'll be back, Elaine said quietly. People like that always come back. I shivered. What do we do when she does? Elaine looked toward the door. We make a plan, she said. Tonight. Elaine locked the door after Leah left, sliding the deadbolt twice, even though once would have been enough. The house felt different now, tilted somehow, as if Leah had taken something with her when she slammed the door. A layer of warmth, or safety, or hope. Elaine turned back to me, her expression steady but alert. the look of someone already preparing for what might come next. Sit, she said gently. I Saturday she paced the kitchen floor, slow, deliberate, before finally asking, has she ever threatened you? Before, directly or indirectly? The truth was hard to admit. Yes, she had pressured me. Yes, she used fear to make everything feel urgent. And yes, when she didn't get what she wanted, she disappeared. I whispered the words I hated to say out loud. She's my daughter. Elaine's voice softened, but not with pity, just truth. Relationships shouldn't feel like walking barefoot over glass. Hours passed without rest. At 2 in the morning, I heard movement, only to see Elaine in my doorway. She couldn't sleep either. We sat together in the soft glow of the lamp, and she told me what she really thought. Leah was in trouble, yes, but not the kind she claimed. Not danger from strangers, but danger grown from entitlement. Danger learned from Daniel. Hearing his name felt like reopening an old fracture. Elaine reached for my hand. You're a good mother. Not because you're perfect, because you're trying. I cried. She stayed. Morning came slowly. Elaine made coffee, eggs humming like she used to years ago. When we sat down, she laid out a plan, clear, firm, protective. Secure my accounts, document everything, and come stay with her until things stabilized. I asked the question that terrified me. What if Leah never forgives me? Elaine brushed a tear from my cheek. Then she'll have to live with that. But at least you'll be alive to be resented. Before I could answer, a car pulled into the driveway. Not Leah's. A black sedan. A man stepped out, tall, broad-shouldered, scanning the yard like he was checking for witnesses. Elaine moved first, her body shifting into calm, focused readiness. He walked to the porch. Knocked 3 sharp knocks, urgent, familiar. Elaine whispered, stay behind me. You don't open the door. Another knock. Harder. Then the man spoke through the door, and everything changed. The man's voice came through the door, deep and steady. Not loud, not angry. Controlled. Mrs. Hartman, he called. Nora Hartman? Elaine stiffened. She moved closer to the peephole, careful not to let the floor creak. He knocked once more. I'm not here to cause trouble. I just need a few minutes. Elaine leaned toward my ear. Don't answer. But he spoke again, and this time he said something that froze the air between us. It's about Leah. Every muscle in my body went rigid. Elaine gripped my arm. Stay still. I know she was here last night, the man continued. She told us she'd have the money this morning, but she hasn't answered her phone. We just want to talk. We. The word clanged around in my skull like a warning bell. Elaine took a silent step back, pulling me with her by the wrist. She mouthed, call 911. But before I could reach for my phone, the man spoke again, calmly, almost politely. Ma'am, I'm not leaving until you open this door. Elaine's grip tightened. I swallowed hard. I think. My voice cracked. I lowered it to a whisper. I think he might actually hurt her. Elaine's expression flickered. For the first time, something uncertain passed over her face. A calculation, a weighing of risk. Then she shook her head sharply. We don't know that. But if he's dangerous to you, she whispered. Another knock, harder this time. The wood shuddered. Mrs. Hartman, he said, patience thinning. We need to settle this today. Open the door. I felt myself trembling. Elaine placed both hands on my shoulders, grounding me. Her thumbs brushed slow circles on my collarbones. Look at me, she whispered. I did. Her voice turned low, steady. There are 2 possibilities. 1, he's bluffing. 2, he's not. But either way, if you open that door, you lose control. And if you lose control, you lose everything. He might know where Leah is, I whispered. He might not, Elaine countered. And he might lie. Nora, you can't trust people who show up at your door unannounced asking for money. Not now. Not ever. My breath shook. Then what do? We handle this smartly, Elaine said. Carefully. She walked to the door slowly, and spoke through it without opening. Who are you? The man paused. Then. I'm a financial investigator. Elaine gave a quiet, humorless huff. No, you're not. Silence. Then the man said. I work for someone Leah owes money. Elaine shot me a look that said, see? What do you want? Elaine asked. I want her to pay what she owes. She doesn't live here, Elaine said sharply. She hasn't lived here in years. Her car was in your driveway last night, he countered. Elaine didn't miss a beat. So were two others. We had guests. That doesn't make this her residence. The man exhaled slowly. Then footsteps moved across the porch, backward, pacing. This can go one of two ways, he said. Easy or hard. Elaine's eyes turned flinty. Here's another option, she said coolly. You leave. And no one gets anything. His voice sharpened. Ma'am, that's not how this works. It is today. There was a long silence. I felt the pounding of my heart in my throat. Then, the man spoke quietly, almost too quietly to hear. She's lying to you, he said. Your daughter. She owes a lot more than she told you. And if she doesn't pay, we'll keep looking. Until we find her. I felt something inside me crack open. A mixture of terror and grief and guilt. Elaine, however, didn't waver. Get off the property. You don't want to do this, he warned. Elaine's voice lowered to something cold and unmistakable. If you take one more step toward this house, I will call the police. And trust me, I'm much more cooperative with law enforcement than you are. A beat point too. Then another step sounds, going down, not up. Slow, angry. Finally, his voice again, tight with frustration. This isn't over. Elaine didn't respond. A car door slammed. The engine revved. Tires crunched over gravel. Then the sound faded away. Silence fell. A long, bone-deep silence. Elaine waited an extra 30 seconds, listening, before she let out a breath and unlocked her body from its rigid stance. I collapsed into the nearest chair. Elaine rushed to me. Nora, she whispered urgently. Are you okay? I wasn't. Not remotely. I felt faint, dizzy, years older than I was an hour ago. He said they'll keep looking, I whispered. Elaine, what if she's really in danger? Elaine knelt in front of me. Then she needs real help, not your life savings. I covered my face with my hands. I can't protect her. You can't protect her from consequences, Elaine said. But you can protect yourself. My voice broke. She'll blame me for everything. Elaine held my hands firm and warm. Nora, she said, listen to me. Leah made her choices. You aren't responsible for fixing them. I'm her mother. And she's an adult, Elaine said. A brilliant one when she wants to be. But she chose the easy road every time it was offered. And you, she squeezed my hands. You always paid the toll. I swallowed hard. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to let her suffer. You're not letting her suffer, Elaine said softly. You're letting her face reality. And sometimes that looks like suffering. I felt tears pooling again. I don't think she'll ever forgive me. Elaine brushed a curl of hair from my face. Then she won't. But you'll survive that pain. You won't survive the other. I closed my eyes, letting myself lean forward until my forehead rested on Elaine's shoulder. She wrapped her arms around me, holding me tightly, grounding me. I didn't realize how long we stayed like that. Minutes. Maybe hours. Time blurred, slipping through the cracks of fear and relief. Finally, Elaine spoke against my hair. We're leaving tonight. We pack a bag, we go to my place, and we regroup there. You're not staying here alone. I'm not sure I can walk, I whispered. I'll help you. Elaine. Yes. What if Leah comes back? Elaine paused. Then she'll find the note I leave. What will it say? Elaine pulled back and met my eyes, steady, unshaken, fierce with loyalty. That you love her, she said. But that you're safe. And not alone. And that if she wants help, real help, she knows how to reach you. I let out a trembling breath. What if she shows up angry? She won't find you, Elaine said. Not tonight. I nodded slowly. But just as Elaine stood to grab her coat, a faint buzzing sound broke the room's silence. My phone on the kitchen counter, face down. Elaine froze. I walked toward it. Every step feeling like a step toward a cliff. I flipped the phone over. A single name glowed across the screen. Leah. And beneath it, 14 missed calls. Elaine stepped beside me, reading over my shoulder. She's been trying to reach you since last night, Elaine murmured. Then the buzzing started again. Another incoming call. The room felt too small. My chest felt too tight. Elaine whispered, "Don't answer yet, think." But I had already pressed the green button. I lifted the phone to my ear. "Mom." Leah's voice cracked, raw, breathless, panicked. "Mom, you have to help me. Please, please, I don't know where to go. They're saying they're coming after me next." Her voice broke. "Mom," she sobbed, "I'm scared." And everything in me, every boundary I had set, every ounce of resolve Elaine helped me build, wavered again. "Nora," Elaine whispered urgently, "breathe. Think." But Leah's next words shattered what was left of my resolve. "They said they're coming to your house too." For a moment, I couldn't speak. Leah's sobs crackled through the phone, thin, frantic, hollow. "Mom, please, please tell me you're okay. Did they come? Did they show up?" I forced air into my lungs. "Yes, a man came this morning." Leah inhaled sharply. "Oh God." Elaine stepped closer, eyes sharp, urging caution. I turned slightly but stayed put. "Leah," I said, keeping my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. "Where are you?" I'm hiding behind a gas station. I don't know where to go. I don't know what they want me to do, Mom. I messed up. I messed up so bad." I closed my eyes, feeling the weight of her fear. The familiar pull of a plea. Elaine put a hand on my arm. I didn't move it away, but I didn't let it guide me. "Leah," I said softly, "I need the truth now." She swallowed audibly. "Okay, no lies. How much do you owe?" Silence. 20,000, she whispered. My chest hollowed. Elaine exhaled sharply under her breath. "Leah," I said slowly, "yesterday you told me it was 5. I know. I was scared. I didn't know what else to do. These guys, they said if I didn't pay soon." "Leah," I interrupted firmly, "how long have you known about this?" Silence again. "A few months." "And why didn't you tell me sooner?" "Because I was trying to fix it. I was trying to make things work. And everything fell apart." My stomach turned. "Last night, someone found her. Someone sent her here." "Leah," I asked gently, "did those men send you to me?" "No." Her voice cracked, fragile. "I don't know. Maybe." I panicked. I went to the only place I could think of. "And Nora," Elaine whispered beside me, "be careful." Leah's voice hardened suddenly. "Is someone with you?" "Yes." "Elaine," I answered. "Of course she's there." Cold. Defiant. Older. Elaine's voice rang clear through the phone. "Your mother is safe. That's the first priority." "Oh, is it?" Leah snapped. "She's not your responsibility. She's mine. She's her own," Elaine said steadily. "That's what you keep forgetting." I inhaled. This was the moment. I made the choice. "Leah, I love you, but I can't give you $20,000. Silence. Stunned. Sharp. "What?" "I can't," I repeated. "I understand you're scared. I understand you made a mistake. I understand you need help. But we don't pay criminals." Her sobs trembled through the line. "I am scared." "I know, baby," I whispered, tears flowing. "I know. What do I do?" I softened my voice, gentle as I could be. "You let me call someone. Real help. Not people who want to hurt you." "Okay," she whispered. "I love you." "I love you too." The line clicked dead. I crumpled. Elaine caught me before I hit the floor. "It's okay," she whispered. "You did the right thing." I pressed my forehead into her shoulder, cried until my ribs ached, until the fear and panic receded. Later, after the calls, after the adrenaline faded, we sat together. Small contact. Gentle. "Safe. She's safe," Elaine said softly. "She's safe, and so am I repeated. Elaine wrapped her arm around me, unhurried, steady. For the first time in years, maybe decades, I believed things could be okay. Not perfect. Not fixed. But possible.